Well, Saturday night, Luke Rockhold versus David Branch, fight of the century is nearly upon us, said nobody ever. Yeah, I'll be honest, I nearly completely forgot about this card, forgot that it was on. I mean, judging from the lack of promotion, I would suggest that the UFC forgot this fight was on as well. But either way, there's actually a couple of potentially entertaining fights on it. I mean, Branch Rockhold, that should be entertaining for as long as it lasts. I don't see that one going too long. I think, Rockhold is by far the better fighter, so I would say that Rockhold is probably going to win that one. But it's anything can happen. I guess it's a very unpredictable sport. But there's some pretty entertaining. I mean, Uriah Hall against Jotko. That should be a really good fight actually. And there's some really for some reason Uriah Hall's the underdog in that. I'm not quite sure why. I'm probably missing something really obvious, but I would take Uriah Hall in that one by knockout. But I mean, obviously, it's not the best card in the world, but obviously it's just a good opportunity to waste some more of my hard-earned money with some awful bets. So obviously, got a six-fold on there. I've got Leadit, Smith to beat Lombard, Perry obviously to beat Alex Reyes because Reyes is taking on short notice. Fair play to him. Mike Perry is actually pretty good, and stepping in on 2 days' notice against Mike Perry is probably not going to end well. Rockhold to beat Branch, and obviously as I mentioned earlier, I've got Uriah Hall to beat Jotko. I've also got on that one just because Hamilton has left. Hamilton against Spitz is is a heavyweight fight earlier on in the card, and because Hamilton has let me down so many times before, I've decided just to bet against him. So he's probably going to screw that one up again for me and go and win this time. But if you look at his record, to be fair, the chances aren't good of him beating anyone. But that's the sixfold. It's only 20 to 1 actually, which is just still not brilliant value. That really is a terrible bet. That's just awful. I've got the fourfold where I removed Hamilton from that and let it because they're the heavyweight ones. Anything can happen in the heavyweight division like this. Can be so unpredictable. So I've taken those two out, and that makes it a 5 to 1 fourfold accumulator, which is terrible. Like that's not even worth putting money on, really. Um, but then I've done a couple where just go for the results of the fight, the method of victory, as it were. So Leadit, I think he's got a good chance of submitting Anunwa. He's got a lot of submissions on his record. He's pretty handy when it goes to the ground. I've got Uriah Hall by knockout. I think if he's going to win that fight, he's probably going to knock the guy out. I mean, you've seen Uriah Hall, do that to people. He's very capable of doing it. So I've got a little double on that one. That one's 14 to 1, which is pretty good value, I think. Add Rockhold in there by knockout, it goes up to 40 to 1. And then if you add Smith in there to beat Hector Lombard by knockout, which I think is a distinct possibility, because if you look at Lombard, he hasn't been in the win column since like 2014. If I don't know, I might be remembering that wrong, but I know he hasn't won in a bloody long time. Because I think his last win got overturned, I believe, because he tested positive for anabolic steroids. I mean, if you look at the guy, it's not a surprise. But yeah, I think that Smith does what most people do against Lombard, weathers the early storm, and then just picks him apart in the second round. He might even go to the third round, you never know. But Lombard, he's very dangerous in the first 3 minutes of a fight. After that point, it's like, pick your poison. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so you add the Smith in there, that's 125 to 1, which is, that's worth £2. I'll take that. Oh god, that's an awful bet. Oh god, don't touch it. But either way, it makes the fights a little bit more entertaining for me anyway. But